Namaste. I'm Jane. Welcome to the Eternal Now. I want to drop in with some spirituality. So let's just all kind of anchor into this present moment if we can, with a few deep breaths to come back into the body, come back into some stillness, to come back into the present moment, to connect back with your higher self. You've never really been disconnected. We just forget sometimes. So just take a few deep breaths in and deep breaths out. Let your shoulders get soft and heavy. Let your mind start to relax. Feel the weight of your body in this present moment, the air on your skin, the weight of your clothes on your skin. Bring awareness to your temples and see if they can relax just a little bit. All right. Now at least I'm here. So welcome to now. Thanks for joining. I appreciate your presence. Please feel free to leave comments in the section because I read them and I like to do that. So it feels really good. So I'm so happy that the sun is out today and they haven't been spraying in the sky. So it's actually a clear blue sky. No random lines that crisscross in ways that commercial planes just don't do now, do they? So I'm really grateful for that. So you just want to take a moment and feel some gratitude for something you're grateful for, right? Something that maybe you didn't even think you had any gratitude for. Maybe it's for the job that you hate because you got a job, right? Maybe it's that you're grateful for your body, that it's still holding you steady. Maybe you're grateful for your breath, for the roof over your head, for friends, for heat, for shelter, for clean water to drink. Maybe you're grateful for the earth or the community that you're in. Maybe you're grateful for your family. Just kind of bring to mind and heart some things that you're grateful for in this right now moment, however long term or fleeting they may be. So I want to talk about something today that kind of gets on my nerves. And it's about spirituality. And it's about acceptance. Let's talk about acceptance, shall we? So, when we look in different spiritual texts, acceptance is kind of like the key piece to the gates of heaven, right? Acceptance is a key player in embodying our God-like self, our higher self. It's a key piece to peace. It's a key component to living a life that's more easeful, more joyful, more abundant. So in all these texts, acceptance has been this key concept. And you know what I notice? I notice that not everybody lives in acceptance. What I do notice, though, is a lot of people talk about it, right? That people should accept what I do, right? People talk about how others should accept how I am, how I speak, how I show up, how I practice, how I believe, how I don't believe. That needs to be accepted. But when the tables are actually turned, people don't actually accept other people, and yet they expect to be accepted. And I think that's a little bit of bullshit. Because it's technically, mathematically, and energetically not possible. Because one, I cannot give that in which I don't have, and I can't receive it either, right? I can't receive acceptance if I don't accept others, right? Because it's like putting a lid on a cup, right? No one's going to fill it because you're not filling it truthfully with acceptance. And the filling of the cup is the embodiment, right? What I notice is a lot of people speak about acceptance. Oh, I accept everyone. I accept what everybody does. I accept it all. And yet, if someone says that they don't believe in Jesus, they maybe vibe with Buddha. Maybe that's not acceptable. Or what if someone speaks about energies? I spoke with someone recently who was sharing with her mom about the chakra system, which is energy centers in our body, right? It's a part of life and nature. Whether people understand it or not, it's just a thing, right? It's like sound waves. You can't see them, but they're there. And her mom was like, those chakra things, like that's I'm worried for you. You know, she felt that there was more in like the witchcraft realm, forgetting that it was more in the metaphysical realm, which is the realm that Jesus talked about. That's some funny shit. Anyway, so even this person's mother doesn't actually accept her because the mother doesn't understand something. She doesn't accept it. And not accepting something is from complete mental resistance in a space of deep understanding. It's saying, I don't understand that, and so I can't accept it. I don't understand how you can go to heaven and I can go to heaven when I was taught that the only way for me to get into heaven was to do A, B, and C, and you're doing X, Y, and Z. I don't understand that, so I'm going to reject it. Therefore, I can only accept myself and I can't accept you. When we live in a place of where people stand on these like righteous platforms of acceptance, for example, and they talk about it and they spew it out, but they don't embody that, it's a weak ass platform to stand on. It's not very stable. And something's always going to knock those people off, right? That was me for most of my life. Unbeknownst to me, I was Miss Judgy Pants because I wasn't accepting myself. I didn't accept the way I looked. I didn't accept the way I sounded. I didn't accept my patterns of behavior. I didn't accept anything that I really, really was. And I tried really hard to accept others, right? But what I noticed was that when I felt like I did something good and worthy of love and right? I did something right according to, right? According to the doctors, according to the media, according to the government, according to the church. I did something right. And I felt so good about it, but it was distorted because I actually wasn't accepting myself deep inside. But it was so distorted that I would use that as my righteous platform, right? Like the doctor told me to work out 5 days a week. So I'm doing it. So if anyone's not working out 5 days a week, they're lazy, right? Or I was told I needed to stop doing drugs, so I did. So now, if you're still doing drugs, you're wrong. That's not acceptance. That's judgment wearing righteousness pants. And I'm noticing that is so common on the earth plane that it's a little disgusting. Like, it's just gross, right? And half the time, we don't even call our own shit out. And even if someone else tries to call it out, there's enough cognitive dissonance that we reject those reflections of truth because maybe they're told to us without kindness, or they're told to us and we are just in resistance to it. So we're living in this now where people talk about acceptance because grateful spirituality is like running, like pouring around the earth plane. People are remembering that they are their higher self, that they are the God source, that they're a fractal of the whole, that they come from the stars, like whatever the words are. People are recognizing and remembering that they're a part of something bigger. That's amazing. And what I'm also noticing is with this big wave of like spirituality or whatever, that people are standing on these platforms that really aren't accepting. And I'm like, that's just gross. And it's not wrong because it just is. And then what I think about is, man, everyone that doesn't accept someone else 100%, unconditional acceptance, that there are parts of themselves that they don't accept. They don't accept their appearance. They don't actually accept their thoughts. They don't accept their traumas. They don't accept when they were an asshole, right? Whatever that is. If we don't 100% accept ourselves, one, not fun. Two, we can't actually heal ourselves. Three, we can't accept others. And lo and behold, then we find that others can't accept us. What I'm finding really interesting, so I take it on a personal level, most people accept me, right? They may not like me, okay, but they can kind of accept me because they're like, damn, Jane is always Jane. Like, whatever Jane is going to show up as, Jane is going to show up as Jane 100%. She's always herself. She's not going to talk out of one side of her mouth with one person and another side with the other. Homegirl's going to be spitting the truth from her perspective all the time. So I'm typically accepted. I also accept everyone. I may not like it, don't get me wrong. I don't like it when people do self-harm. I don't. I don't like self-harm. I don't like it when people don't love themselves and fully like give them love. I don't like it when people don't love themselves because then they can't love others and it just fucking sucks. But, for the most part, I think I accept everything and everyone as it is. And I know some pretty effed up stuff, right? Again, I don't like it. And what I notice is that there are some that are very close to me biologically, for example, that don't accept me at all. They don't accept what I do, or they don't accept a choice that I've made. They don't accept um, the way I choose to live my life. They don't accept it. And when I really look into it, it's because they don't understand it. They've never asked me about it. They've never tuned into this. They've never talked to anyone that knows me, that I've been in relationship with or been of service to. They just have no concept of who I am. So they're basing this non-acceptance on a piece of me that they think they know clearly, and then they end up rejecting. And that's what I'm noticing is real common. And ew. Like, those that don't accept me, I actually don't care because I accept that they don't accept me. I'm not calling them trying to make amends and why don't you like me? You told me that you don't want to be my brother anymore because I made you spend money on something because I didn't want you and your racist friends to stay at my house. No, like I give zero shits, right? Like, it's fine. I don't have to be accepted because I accept who I am and the decisions I've made so far. Doesn't mean that I would always make the same decisions now with the knowledge that I now have, but without making those bad or wrong decisions, without doing them, I wouldn't have learned. So I'm grateful that I've made the decisions that I've made. That's acceptance. That's accepting who I am because I see the gift in all of it. It goes back to gratitude at the top. I'm grateful for everything that I've done because it's taught me something along the way because I'm introspective. I reflect. I contemplate. I sit with myself and I get real with myself. I talk about my feelings with me, to my highest self, to source. Like, I have conversations so that I can find a deeper space of understanding and acceptance for who I am in every now moment so that I can show up as embodied acceptance so that I can actually accept other people because everybody's different. I can't expect everyone to use the word source and not the word God. I can't expect everybody to stop calling God a he when there's no man with a penis floating in the sky. Literally, that's not a thing. It's not. But people don't want to hear that, right? Because people have learned to say God as a he, but they don't refer to the goddess as a she. Some people do, right? I accept all that shit, right? I accept it if you call it the nothing. I accept it if it's atheism. I don't care because I know that every human is living their own experience from their own genetic code and they're doing the best they can, period. And the best they can may be complete self-harm. It may be turning to the bottle. It may be ignoring people in their life. It may be hurting other people in their life. It may be projecting. It may be a victim. It may be a martyr. It may be whatever. But I accept that that's where everyone is. And that creates this multicolored life that I'm living in. But if I don't accept it, then I can't be a player in it. I can't be an active participant. I can't fully show up as myself. And honestly, it's no fun to be around people that are not accepting, right? I grew up with a family member that If someone was a poor driver, they would comment on either the color of their skin, their nationality perceived, or their gender, unless it was a white man. If it was a white man driving, this family member wouldn't say anything about their driving, right? When we pass the person, be like, oh, well, it's a woman, or it's this color person, or it's because they're this, or they're that, or the other. First of all, so not cool. Second of all, it was gross for me to be around that. Like for me as a kid, I felt that. I felt that energy behind it because it doesn't come from a place of love. And children are so tuned in to the frequency of love that when it's not in that resonance, they pick up on it and it's really not comfortable. It's a huge disservice for children, by the way. So I was listening to this growing up, right? Oh, it's this, it's that. Look at them. Well, it's because of this. And I'm like, wow. And now I realize that all of the times that they made these statements, these were literally them saying the words of whatever, that was a woman. They were actually saying that they're not comfortable in their sexuality. They're not comfortable with their ethnicity. Like everything that this um family member, excuse me, I was gonna burp. Every time this family member would say something, it was literally just a reflection and a projection of some unhealed, non accepted things that they are about and feel about themselves. I didn't know it at the time. I just thought that that was the way we were supposed to think about people. But I guess if you're only taught that God is a white man in the sky, then I guess that anything that doesn't look like it's white and in a man body probably isn't right. So by default, there's a subconscious psychological program that's been given and conditioned into a lot of people that says if it's not in a white man body, it's not godlike. Therefore, it is less than. That one is bullshit. Two, we're so over that paradigm. Three, what it takes is a person that's strong and courageous to change that narrative internally. So I'm just bringing it into the awareness, right? Because once it's in the awareness, it's our choice. We can do whatever the hell we want with it, right? We can literally do whatever we want with it. We can take it and take it seriously and be like, oh my gosh, that's so right on. Like I actually am not accepting of other people. I actually don't accept when my neighbors have their music on loud because I fight it. And that's how you know when you're not in acceptance, is because you're fighting it. You need it to be different. You need it to change. It needs to be some other way than the way it is right now. And I'm going to resist it and I'm going to press on it and I'm going to try to make it stop, make it stop, make it stop. That's not acceptance. Acceptance is being really aware of whatever it is that you don't like and accepting that I don't like it. I can accept that it gives my blood pressure an increase. I can accept that it makes my jaws tense. I can accept that the neighbor is going to play their music so loud that I can hear it. If I keep going over there and telling them, you got to turn it down, you have to turn it down, you're so wrong. Or I could make myself completely miserable, right? Or I can do breath work and listen to just my breath, or I can turn some music on myself. Like I can do a myriad of other things in this example. And again, it doesn't mean we have to like it. And it doesn't mean we can't ask for change. Don't get me wrong. There's a place of being able to accept and also be able to have boundaries and also request change, right? I can accept if this child, wherever, this imaginary child, is having a temper tantrum. I can accept that. I can. If they're starting to yell, I can accept that. I may ask them to take it outside. Great big energy. You do you, boo. Take it outside. A little loud for me. Now, if the child starts to throw things at me, I can accept that the child is throwing things at me. I'm also going to catch it and take the toys away or whatever the hell it is that they're throwing and tell them, no, you don't have consent to do that to me. Right? So, there's the navigating and not being like, oh, so we're just supposed to accept everything. We're supposed to accept people that hurt others and blah, blah, blah. Like notice if that was in your mindset, if that's where you took it. Right? Did you take unconditional acceptance to the place that was so far-fetched and fear-based and disgusting that you are preventing you from accepting what is now? Just notice. Because again, once we have awareness, then we can start to make conscious decisions in every now moment, right? Every now moment is different. 20 minutes ago was a totally different now moment than this 20 minutes in this right now moment. Now we're at point zero. So can I accept what my thoughts have been? Can I accept what my patterns have been and my behaviors have been? Can I accept myself to know that, damn, I thought I was accepting and I really wasn't. I wasn't. You know, can you accept if someone cancels on you? Of course you can accept it. But then how do you behave? Like, do you react, right? Do you talk badly about them? Do you start hurting yourself because you feel so rejected? I used to do this shit all the time. Someone would cancel on me. Ooh, I would be like, that's fine. No, it's fine. I'll see you later. Bye. Click. And then I would like start drinking or hitting some other drug up or like diving deep into some like Netflix reruns. So like I couldn't even think or feel anything. And what I was doing then was I accepted what they were doing, but I couldn't accept my feelings and I had to drug and distract my ass away from them. So notice where acceptance that is being resisted in your life. Because if I'm not accepting that I'm a human and I'm feeling discomfort, I'm feeling an emotion because look at me, I'm a human. If I don't accept that, then I'm going to shove it down or I'm going to drug it out or I'm going to project it onto others. Those are the three options. Acceptance is a great, I'm telling you, it's the key. It's the key to like experiential heaven on earth. Because I can live in love all day. But and to me, I can't actually be in unconditional love and not be in acceptance. And people will say that they love everybody, but they don't accept it. Yeah, see, so it's a math equation. It doesn't add up. It's literally, it's an equation. So can we be in radical acceptance? To me, that's the key to this heaven on earth business. It's the fifth dimensional consciousness reality that we get to live in and experience. It's harmony. Literally, it is harmonious. When I am unconditionally accepting of my feelings, what I've done, what I'm doing now, and wherever my intentions are, like if I can be in radical acceptance and if I can be in radical acceptance of everyone else, then what's going to happen is that the way I communicate with others is going to change. I'm going to actually listen to them. I'm going to listen. And I'm going to ask questions to learn more because I may not understand it and that may be having a resistance in my soul to really accepting them. Then I need to ask more questions so I have at least an understanding. Just an understanding. And maybe the deep understanding is that they're completely wounded children that are still completely narcissistic and they may not ever change. Okay, cool. Then I'm glad that now I've gotten enough awareness of you, whoever this imaginary you is. I've gotten enough awareness of you so I can accept that. I just know I'm not going to be your friend. Like, we're not going to hang out. Like, you need me, you call me, I'll see if I can help. But, like, nah, dog. Right? Acceptance is such a beautiful thing that people talk about and they do not embody it. I see it all the time. It feels two-faced. I see so many two-faced people. And I don't know if it's because I live in the South, because I tell you what, in the North, they're just blunt as fuck. And they're going to tell you, they'll be like, I don't like you. They'll tell you right up, I don't accept you. Then they go to church and they get forgiven or whatever every Sunday. It doesn't matter. But like, you go out to the Midwest and they're just like, they're Midwest. It's where I grew up. It just, whatever. It's weird. I like it. You know? But like the South is real different. The South of the United States is this region where typically, this is a big stereotype, it's not everybody, but just generally speaking, it's very much like, oh, sweet pea in your face. Oh, bless you. Mm. And then they'll literally turn around and be like, did you just see what they did? Did you see what they do? Oh my God. And they'll like talk about you. And it's so fascinating. It's such a two-faced thing. So on one hand, right, in one direction, they'll be so accepting. And on the other hand, they won't. And then you get to meet someone like me and like maybe some of you, I don't know, where I'm gonna be loving and kind. I want to accept you. And I'm also going to have really clear boundaries. And if something's not in alignment, I'll say, that's not in alignment. I don't want to do that. The way you hold this, the way you cook this, the way you serve this, the way you do this, I accept that. But I'm not going to eat it. I'm not going to play there. I'm not going to practice that. doesn't feel in alignment for me right now, and it may change. Because I accept that what my feelings are in this now moment are valid and that they're also going to change because I'm a human. And if I can accept that, then that means I'm going to be able to offer everybody else around me a lot of grace as they continue to change who they are in this world, as they continue to ascend and grow into their higher selves more and more each day, hopefully. That's my intention. So, yeah, acceptance. It's a thing. It's a thing that saying it is one thing, but living it, embodying it, totally other ballgame. So my invitation to all of us humans on this earth plane is to maybe just sit with acceptance. Like, I know that we're in this like Thanksgiving, what the hell ever, colonial land grabbing timeline of celebration is or whatever. And so, like, I get that a lot of people are going to be practicing gratitude, and that's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. Can you practice gratitude and acceptance? Can we actually practice acceptance? Like for the next, like, I don't know, forever. Can we actually practice acceptance, feeling acceptance? Feeling acceptance for all that I am and all that others do, whether I like it or not. Can I can I practice acceptance in my thoughts? We will have some thoughts that are pretty weird, yo. I'm not gonna lie. And you know you think weird thoughts. You know you do. I do too, because it's because we got this like this motherboard of all data ever in our brain. Like, y'all, we have some weird thoughts. Can we actually accept the thoughts? If we can accept all of our thoughts, then we tend to not go down rabbit holes. We tend to not act out on them. We tend to not um, get angry at ourselves for not being able to change our thoughts. It's like, oh, if I'm just accepting that I'm having these thoughts, okay, well, then I'm going to sit in the feeling of acceptance for a little bit. And the next thing you know, those thoughts that maybe I don't want to have are gone. And can we accept our bodies, this physical experience? Can I accept the way my body looks as much as I can accept this next person, whether they're, a supermodel or they're 8 million pounds of rock, right? Like, can I accept all bodies in all shapes, all sizes, all colors, all sounds, all smells, all? If we can accept the body of self will be with others, if we can accept the thoughts of myself, then I can accept and form a deeper understanding of where others come from, whether I agree with it or not. If I can accept all that I've ever done or not done, then I can accept and forgive others. If I can accept this now moment exactly as it is, then I am more capable of creating change for the future because I'm not fighting something in the now preventing me from creating in the future. Because every now moment, we can either live it presently or we can live it by looking in the past or freaking out for the future. But the more we're present, then eventually we look back and we are like, damn, I lived a whole life of a bunch of nows that I was really present with, and that felt really good. As opposed to, yeah, I lived most of my life in regret, not just on my deathbed. So we have a choice. We have a choice to live, embody, and speak acceptance all the time. We can do it. So that's my invitation. As we go into this end of the year, can we just maybe like connect with this like pinky swear kind of thing that we will commit to exploring acceptance on a deeper level every day? Whatever that looks like. You like how I scratched and it's like red random. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to share today. This eternal now moment with me, Jane, as the guide, right? Hopefully, leaving a wake of inspiration and a legacy of light so that whatever human hears this is like, you know what? I like her or I don't like her. Doesn't fucking matter. But I'm going to give that acceptance thing a shot because maybe my parents didn't actually accept me. Maybe I learned that I wasn't worthy of acceptance. And you know what? That really kind of sucked and it hurt. And I'm tired of carrying that lineage along. So, you know what? I'm going to make it a commitment, a devotion to being in acceptance in this now. And every now moment that I remember that it's just this now that I'm living in. Like, can we just like pinky promise that shit? I'm telling y'all, if we do this, the more that like spreads out, because the more you accept me, the more I feel accepted. The more I feel accepted, the more I can accept myself. So you literally just sparked this space of divine healing for me to accept myself, and then I can accept others. So it really just saves the whole world to be in harmony and peace. Look at that. So that's all. Just create some harmony and peace until next week. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about and share. Unconditional acceptance. It's radical, yo. But I want to remind you that you're loved either way because you are love. So, my invitation is to take care of yourselves and each other. If you need any support in the spiritual realm, meaning any realm ever, you know, body, mind, spirit, energy, timelines, life purpose, path, goals, being creative, live and enjoy. I don't know, having love in your life. You can work with me. You can go to janetheguide.com and see all the things that I do and the public things that I do too, because I do a lot in the public. So, anyway, I love you so much. Take care of yourselves and each other. And until next time.